Yeah.
Okay, so he occupied it, our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014?
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
I'm not playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
Yeah,
you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait
answer?
a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't been
in this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell
you
you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that there,
thank you to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong.
This has gone viral already, and I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, and if you haven't, well, there you go. First thing I want to make clear, on the human spectrum, in the description of all of my episodes, we do speak of the paranormal, we speak of UAPs, UFOs, the history, and the disclosure. And I also discuss politics, and I haven't done so yet. But today I feel like I have to. What you just saw and what you just witnessed, all I did was add a few pieces of texting there to emphasize what I felt needed to be emphasized. And while I don't like to get political on this platform, in this case, I have to because I'm extremely disgusted of how President Zelenskyy was treated. For those of you who haven't been paying attention for the last 2 weeks, he's been in Europe for 2 weeks traveling while his country's still fighting a war that, to the best of my knowledge, they did not start. From what I understand, they were attacked in February of 2022. And they're still fighting. Lost tens of thousands of people. Civilians and children, especially the women. We all heard the stories. And what I did not appreciate in today's what they call pull spray before they go on to their negotiations was the fact that, number one, which I was very disappointed that Trump let this go on as long as it did. But in a good way, it was good that it did go on the way it did, because now you and myself finally got a back seat, or if you want to say a front row seat, to how it really works in that Oval Office that we paid for. That he and every other president should be honored to be there. That's our house. Yeah, that's yours. That's ours. But we vote people in there to occupy it and do the business for us. And today's business was absolutely and utterly disgusting. And I'm not happy with what I saw today. And I wanted to show you that clip. And if that wasn't enough, to what they did to this guy, who's already tired, circles under his eyes, bags under his eyes, traveling for the last 2 weeks to try and get a solidification of countries in Europe and anywhere else he can get that's a democracy, any kind of help he can get. This guy is tired, and this is how he's treated when he comes to the biggest and most successful experiment in democracy in the world, the United States. And if this wasn't bad enough, take a look at this.
What was your second question?
And my second question for President Zelenskyy. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting the dignity of this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like this.
Something like yours.
Yes.
That'd be great. Maybe something better. I don't know. Yeah. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it is my understanding that this is Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband who asked him the question, why don't you wear suits? I don't know what the relevance of that question was after he's already gone through not only an embarrassing sit down in front of the press and Vance going at him the way he did, a man who's not visited that country, seen firsthand what's going on there. And Zelenskyy tried to explain that to him. President had to be corrected on the year 2015, which was 2014 is when they annexed Crimea. I'm just shocked. Let me know what you think. But I will tell you this. This is not something that we can have continue in our house. This is something that is that's very sad. It's the best way I can describe it. And for those of you that are watching overseas, I just want to say that we're not a part of what you just saw. That does not represent the people of the United States. There might be a few of you out there who don't care, and but I hope the majority of the United States and the people that live here in the United States understand where I'm coming from. This was one of the most despicable things that I've ever seen in the White House. No matter what president. I've seen other presidents do things that I would speak about, usually with friends or family, and just say, hey, I didn't like how that went or whatever. But this was, this was just a terrible, terrible misrepresentation of who we are as Americans. So for those of you who are not in the United States, I apologize on their behalf, and please do not think that we're all like this. I think you guys know that, and girls and women, we're not like that. We believe in democracy. We believe in having a good president. I believe Trump has a lot of good things that he can do for this country, and I still believe in that, especially when it comes to disclosure. I'm really putting my chips on him for disclosure, but I'm leaning more toward the task force and hoping that it's not something that withers away and it's all talk. I really hope this task force that they created for disclosure is fruitful and finally brings us the transparency that we needed years ago. But I do understand that if they let one thing out, it connects to another and another. Well, too bad. It's time that we know what all these connections are. And if you agree with me, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment. So I am going to leave you with something that's semi-positive, and I ran it through my software and it looks legit. I have a clip of helicopters escorting some unknown orbs is how I look at it. So let's have a look at this really quick and end this video on a good note and get back right on track. I just wanted to show you guys this disappointing event that happened today in the Oval Office, and so let's end it with something that we usually deal with on this channel. So let's take a look at this next clip.
They're low. 3 of them.
So it looked like three helicopters following what looked like, well, maybe 4, 3 or 4 helicopters following would appear to be orange-like objects. I couldn't really tell what they were because they're so bright orange. Unless you saw something different, leave me a comment. But yeah, that was literally, let's see, we are on Eastern time in the United States. It's currently 6:32. That came out around 4 p.m. today. So it's a pretty fresh clip. Let me know what you think about that. And for those of you who don't usually see me talk about politics, I'm not trying to be negative, but I needed to say something about it because this is my platform and I have a right to say something about it. And I told you what I did and told you how I felt about it. And I hope this doesn't ever happen again. I hope Trump can just continue doing what we hope he can do. Otherwise, we're going to have to make some personal changes on my end. But thanks for listening. And I'll have more videos coming out. I am getting a steady stream of stuff, but I do have to put it through the software before I bring it on my show, because I don't want to bring you something that's fake or made by AI. So just know that when I bring you content, no matter how long or small, or clips of anything that's anomalous, I do put it through the software that I have. It's called Trace software, and it works very well. So just keep that in mind when I show my clips on my platform. So yes, again, a sad day today in politics, right here at home. Terrible way to host a president who's literally gone through hell for the last 3 years, more so his people. So let me know what you think, what your opinion is on that, and also let me know what you think about those what looked like orbs being escorted by helicopters, military helicopters. And that's all I have for today. I will be going over these new clips that I've received. I will run it through the software, and I'll be back with another video. So for now, have a good night or day wherever you are. Take care, everyone.
The human spectrum is on